The situation with the water, obviously, in Palisades ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter in this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system fire, it's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires.
Californians are blaming Newsom. Okay. Some people are saying Gavin Newsom, he is the reason for these fires because he wasn't ready. He did not sign the water restoration bill. But listen to what Gavin Newsom has to say. Maybe or maybe not is to blame. Just listen.
What's the latest?
Well, 5 dead, likely more. Just complete and utter devastation. I've been in a lot of these fires, a lot. Going back to Paradise, and this approximates Paradise. It's not a numeric, it's just a feeling, sense of loss, place, belonging.
Still no containment.
No, we're at zero containment. The winds have been a little bit more favorable, as you've seen in the last few hours. So we've got the helicopters back up. We've got some fixed-wing aircraft out on the coasts.
Think about it. It's been 2-3 days, zero containment in a city like Los Angeles, a state like California, one of the richest states in the United States. Zero containment, almost 3 days now. Amazing.
It's a little different. It's pretty intense. We have 23 aerial assets just at the Palisades, but a lot of them are not operational because of those winds. So it's a combination of challenges. That said, we've depleted all our resources. Northern California, we'd already pre-positioned on Sunday. Hundreds of personnel, special units, water tenders, dozers, engines, helicopters, and it wasn't enough. And now we're getting the mutual aid system, the EMAC system. Governors from all across the country are calling. Oregon sending a few dozen engines, and Arizona, Utah. We're just grateful for all the support.
A lot of these firefighters I was talking to on the street, they've been working, 26, 27 hours.
This is a sad thing happening to Los Angeles. However, everybody helping Gavin Newsom right now, they should have a clause saying you have to make sure that you find the root cause for this fire outbreaks in your state, because this cannot be happening every single year. And then you get money to restore the lost items, the lost properties. No, you have to figure out why. And this wildfires has been happening in California for years. By now, there should be a solution, man.
Are they that's just going to continue? I mean, there's not enough folks here.
Yeah, I mean, we got a few thousand people working on this, and luckily we were fully staffed. The U.S. Forest Service is staffed up traditionally at this time of year. Remember, we're in January.
It's supposed to be wet this time of year.
It's supposed to be wet. I mean, so this is anomalous. I remember Paradise happened in November. I mean, so there's no fire season in California. It's year round, but to have this level, the acuity of fires is without precedent. These winds are without precedent, and the challenge is these winds are going to continue on and off, a little bit less intense. Last night, you got 80, 90-mile-an-hour winds. These guys were just up there to try to mitigate the embers going 2 miles and getting just to go a quarter of a mile to try to save some.
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in Palisades ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter in this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system fire, it's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's got to be determined by the local
authorities. Were saying part of it is the
Ladies and gentlemen, no waters in the fire hydrants. No water. There is absolutely no water in the fire hydrant. So how do you extinguish the fire? What do you expect? You don't have water in your fire hydrant? A city like Los Angeles, where the richest people in the world, okay, this is in the world have properties that pay one of the highest income taxes in the whole of the United States, but yet you don't have water in your fire hydrant? Did I just hear you say that depends on the locals? That depends on the locals? Real? What? For real? No, Gavin, we ain't gonna do this. Nah, man. Come on.
Gravity, that it's these giant tanks on top of the mountains, which
Yeah, well, they're going down. We were just with the team. They're getting the tenders down to Pasadena, filling things back up, coming back up. So it's just
are aerial assets now able to fly?
yeah, they've been the last few hours, particularly helicopters. Fixed wings been up a little bit earlier, but out on the coast, it's been a little more stubborn because those winds are swirling. The challenge is, it's you can see that they can fly. It's not a question of turbulence or anything else. It's just the mitigations flying all over the place. So it doesn't have any benefit necessarily. So we've got National Guard working rattlesnake teams out there on the line. We're also trying to bring them in to supplement some of the law enforcement efforts as well. It's all hands on deck across the spectrum. The biggest thing, though, Anderson, that happened today, sincerely, and you can appreciate it in a community like this, to get that direct individual assistance with the major disaster declaration within 36 hours of this incident from the president was a game changer for this community, for small businesses, et cetera. So not that we're thinking about the next phase, but we have to be thinking concurrently about the next phase is how we rebuild this community. But right now we're in this mitigation phase. We're in the public safety phase.
I hate to even ask this question.
Of course. Think about rebuilding, okay? That's the logical thing to do, all right? Think about the future. But the present right now is your city is burning to the ground. How do you mitigate the next one coming? How do you make sure that this doesn't happen in Los Angeles or California as a whole anymore? This fire has been going on, this wildfires in California has been going on for decades. For like 3, 4, 5 decades. So it's like, California, you have the smartest people in Silicon Valley, the brightest minds in Silicon Valley. You need a governor that would listen and bring water to your city. This man right here is just not capable. He has proven it for years, over and over and over again. This is why Trump nicknamed him Gavin Newsom. Okay? Because you're acting like a scum, basically. You're trying to save fishes over people. We're going to get to that, okay? I just want you to listen to this.
But the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to a president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden, and he had the backs of every single person in this community. Didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
Finally, your message to the folks here, to this community.
Of course. Joe Biden is sending money all over the world for nothing that concerns the United States. So, of course, he has a lot to give to you because obviously he's sending money for nothing. He would not figure out how to make sure you do what you're supposed to do, which is there should be a clause saying that, yo, if we're paying you this for restoration, which is 100% necessary, but you have to figure out a way to prevent these wildfires from coming every single year. What are you going to do to stop these fires from coming back every single year, Newsom? Now, I want to show you a Truth Social post by the legendary 45th, now the 47th President-elect Donald J. Trump. So Trump says, Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt. There you have it. This man, Gavin Newsom, wants to protect worthless fishes that are called smelt. Let's keep going. By giving it less water, but it didn't work. Did not work. But didn't care about the people of California. Now, the ultimate price is being paid. I will demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is the blame for this. On top of it all, no water for fire hydrants, not firefighting planes. So you mean there are firefighting planes, but there's no water. This is a disaster. And you got to see, this is why I voted for the OG Donald J. Trump, because this man right here, he's smart, is intelligent, he wants the best for American people. And this is why people need to open their brain and their heart and really see who loves their country. This is a man that actually loves your country. He wants to provide water for you in California. He's trying to make sure there's water so you don't have this disaster coming every single year. I'm so hyped that I can't even read this out properly for you guys. All right. I want to show you another video of Gavin Newsom and his aides bringing down a dam, a water dam. This man and his aides are bringing down a water dam. This is before the whole disaster, this fire palisade situation in Los Angeles. But I want you to check this video out.
These dams are coming down, and it's about damn time.
Governor Kate Brown, Governor Gavin Newsom, U.S. Secretary of Interior Deb Haaland, and tribal leaders all coming together to celebrate the world's largest dam removal along the Klamath River Thursday. The groups meeting at Iron Gate Fish Hatchery in Hornbrook. Last month, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission issued the final approval of the historic plan to remove 4 dams on the Klamath River in California and Oregon. The decision is a culmination of years of work on the project's licensee, PacifiCorp, Pacific Power's parent company, on the parts of Oregon and California, and several state and local agencies, along with several tribes.
The folks out there that exercised your leadership every single day, that dialectic that we had throughout this process, where
There you have it. This man was removing dams from California. You heard the lady. She said it's about damn time that these dams are being removed. You're removing dams in a state that is so dry. You need water, but you're removing dams. I see.
expected and demanded more. You expressed that at times, and sometimes it was uncomfortable. Other times it was absolutely justifiable. I just want to thank you for making this moment possible.
The Klamath Basin watershed covers 9.4 million acres, an area larger than 9 U.S. states. Leaders of the Klamath, Yurok, and Karuk tribes attended Thursday. The tribes say the project will revitalize nearly 400 miles of the Klamath River.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. They removed dams. They refused to sign the water restoration bill. They're going to scream and cry climate change. But this is what happens when you do not get ready for real life situations. When you are just not in your right mind. This is why, like I said before, Trump nicknamed Gavin Newsom Gavin Newsom. And really, he's acting like a scum at this point. He's acting like a scum. He's been acting like a scum. A lot of Californians are saying it is his fault, okay? Because now the fire's going to Beverly Hills where the rich folks are. It's like, oh, no, yeah, you guys voted for this man right here. He is incompetent. He's proven it year after year. And now the OG is going to be back in power in about what? 11 days. So get ready, California. If you want to have water restoration in your city, in your state, you better go ahead and support the legend, the 45th, Donald J. Trump, now the 47th president-elect. Because this man right here doesn't really care. He cares about the fishes, but he doesn't care about real human beings. He's going to get a lot of money into the state for restoration to bring back the structures, the buildings, that were burnt down. However, it's like, what are you doing to make sure this does not happen again? What are you doing? What are you going to do to make sure you prevent this from happening? Nothing, because if he could, he would have. But this is a sad thing. I'm not trying to just blame Gavin Newsom, because looks like obviously I am, but this is so sad. People are losing. 5 people are dead. 5 people are dead. A lot of people are injured. Firefighters are working overtime. The whole United States is praying for California. So there is no way Gavin Newsom should now open up his mind and say, you know what? All right, I give up. I throw in the towel. F the fishes. Make sure the people are protected. I mean, how is that not common sense? Anyway, it is your boy Genesis. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Thank you so much. And I'm signing out.